Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Here.
Mr. DeSarno?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Mrs. McKnight? Here. Mrs. Beliska?
Let's salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's a public meeting in Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231. That annual notice of revisions is made in conformance of Section 13 of the Act. Before we start, I'd like to take this moment to recognize the passing of Suzanne Thompson. She was a long-time citizen and on the school board for a great number of years and did a whole lot for this community. So if we could stand and have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Well, today's a big night, as you can tell by the crowd. I don't think we have this many in the audience for a whole year combined. So this is unbelievable, and we have a lot of guests, former employees, Doug Marvin, our former administrator and police chief, Councilman Mike Gennaro, council president, Assemblywoman Michelle Matsakudis, also our council person, and Dr. Robinson, council president. Who else we have here? Captain Hopefling, retired. And, I just want to thank everybody for coming. This is really nice. And seeing the support from the police, fire, EMS here tonight. Okay, we have to do some business before we do the swearing in. So, ordinance 10. Please read the title, Wendy.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 257 of the Code of the Borough of New Providence entitled Vehicles and Traffic.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second that.
Okay, at this time, this is ordinance regarding the parking along High Street, Westview, Balcom, and Pioneer Drive. As many of you know, due to safety reasons, that Pioneer and Balcom Drive is going to be one way, and hopefully all the kids will go in the front door like they're supposed to be going. Sergeant Diamond and Lieutenant Bubb have spent hours upon hours working on this plan as well, and all the traffic situations in town. So anybody wishing to address council on this ordinance and this ordinance only, please raise your hand, give your name and address. Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Beliska?
Aye.
Okay, the next resolutions are appointments, and I will read them off and get a vote on all of them, and then I'll ask you all to come up and we'll swear the new candidates. Resolution 2002, which is appointing Carly Bauman as probationary police officer effective tonight. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Beliska?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 203 is resolution appointing Marcos Martinez as a full-time probationary officer starting tonight. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Beliska?
Aye.
The next is 204, and that is appointing Robert Moran as a Class 3 Special Officer. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
And what is Class 3 Officer is a school resource So I don't know which school that Bob will be in, but no matter which one, he's going to be great. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Okay. Where is, we did Danny, right?
Yes,
Previously.
yeah.
Right. Off the hook. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. They say just go to the side so they can get us on. I, Daniel Hens,
I, Daniel Hen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the
of
Constitution
the United
of
States
the United
and
States
the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
the duties of police chief
the duties of police chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
You know, it didn't seem that long ago when I hired you in the year 2000.
Let's see.
It's been a long time.
It's been a really long time. Yeah, I will. Thank you very much. This is a really great opportunity. I think everybody in this room, especially the employees, the residents, know that New Providence is a special place. We have 2 new hires that are going to join us, and I can only tell you that they picked the right avenue to be part of this community. I learned a lot from Teresa. I'm very thankful for her guidance. We got a great future ahead of us, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it every day. Thank you very much.
And you know, when you start recognizing people, I forgot Chief Gasaway. Where is she? Okay, Carly? I, Carly Bowden,
I, Carly Bowman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police officer
of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Berkeley Heights, retired. I, Marcus Martinez,
I, Marcos Martinez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United
and
States
the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of police officer
all the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Well, Bob, you're the last one. I think we've done this before, right?
Yes, we have.
Yes, somebody. Can't do it. Anybody. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I, Robert Moran,
I, Robert Moran,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of
Constitution
the United
of
States
the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of
Jersey,
the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments
in
established
the United
in the
States
United States
and in this
and
state,
in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the
and
people,
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Class 3 Special Police Officer
all the duties of the Class 3 Special Police Officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
We are truly blessed to have such good people working for our community. And that's why New Providence always is looked upon in such great light. So I want to thank everybody involved through the process, because we just get the best of the best here. So thank you. Now, for the audience, you don't have to stay around for all the boring stuff. So if you feel like going, please.
Yeah, back, walk you out.
Casey.
Oh, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you.
See you, Mike. Take care.
Hi, Mike, how are you?
Your waist is smaller than mine.
Mike, so good seeing you.
Okay, Mike. Good? Been a while. Good. I don't know where Rob's at. Rob's in college, and actually
Bringing her daughter back, or coming back.
she got sick last night.
I think she said she was
She
feeling
lost her
well.
voice. Yeah, she can't even speak right now. So, you going over to the Elks?
Busy but good. I don't know if you heard my father
Maybe I'll
took
swing by and say hi real
a
quick.
couple weeks ago, yeah. So, and
Did it, Mike?
only he lives 2 doors down from me. Only 3 stairs up and fell straight back. We went to the overlook, and we didn't think it was as big as it was. They rushed us to the Morris into trauma unit. He broke 8 ribs in multiple places. His back in 2 places. Back in 2 places, and lacerated his spleen. It was bad. So, yeah, but he's doing much better. He was in hospital for 2 weeks. Yeah, now he's home. Yeah, and you can have heart surgery out in the day, and it's amazing. But the risk, of course, is with broken ribs, you don't breathe, and you run the pneumonia and all kinds of things. Yeah, I had broken 2 once coughed. But pneumonia was a concern, but he got, I think he's been out of that. That's been eventful. So thank you, he's doing much better. Thank you very much. Seeing you well. Doing well. You got a lot of elbow room over there on both sides.
I know. Big time.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
God, I put deodorant on too.
Kevin. Any follow up on that or no? Any follow up on that? Any other follow up on that?
I just saw, she said she's gonna try and send out dates. I saw it. Yeah, the funeral was today. It was beautiful.
I think it helps us. Because then you can still use the whole of the side.
Brian, are we still on? Okay. At this time, let's see, we have a presentation for National Hispanic Heritage Month. And Casey Arias, and I see Sunil was here, Laura.
Casey's not here, but we do have a replacement. Eddie?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, good evening, Council. We're just gathering. Eddie is going to present on behalf of the Hispanic Heritage Group.
Okay.
So just a couple of minutes, getting his wife to come in as well. So the group has been working really hard. So it's Lorena Curie, Laura Morano, she's just walking in. And there's Nina, the baby, Noah, and Eddie. And Eddie's going to present what we planned for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
how you doing, Ed?
How you doing? Sorry, I got my wife. She was at the baby house.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good evening. My name is Eddie Coronado. I'm here for Casey Arias. He was supposed to be presenting today, but she's unable to join us. So I'm going to read her presentation. As you are aware, every year from September 15 to October 15, National Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated in the United States by appreciating the community's history, heritage, and contributions of the ancestors of American citizens who came from all Latin American countries. This year's theme served as the basis for the activities and the events the working group has presented for the Council's considerations. Unidos, United, Inclusivity for a Stronger Nation. So we're partnering with the New Providence Public Library, and we have several events with the library. We have from September 15 to October 15, we have Hispanic Heritage artifact displays during library hours. On Saturday, September 17th, we're going to show the movie Encanto. Books will be raffled and a take-home packet distributed by the New Providence High School Spanish Honor Society students to support the event. On Friday, September 23rd, Spanish story time for 3 to 6-year-olds from 3:30 to 4 p.m. Books raffled off and take-home packets distributed. Again, New Providence High School Spanish Honor Society students. Friday, September 30th, is Spanish story time for 3 to 6-year-olds, 3:30 to 4 p.m. Books raffled off and take-home packets distributed. And then Saturday, October 29th, Dario's World of Music, 3 to 6-year-olds, 2 to 3. Books raffled and take-home package distributed. And then from October 11th to October 15th, we're going to be displaying the winning posters for the contest being held for the New Providence School District. It's a poster contest with instructions disseminated electronically via Facebook and the district's Friday folder. New Providence High School students support the activities at the library, arts and craft activities, October 8th. Celebration will be within the New Providence Centennial Park. And then we have the October 8th, we have a rundown of the events happening on October 8th. We have arts and craft. We have a celebration, we have a Unidos, Inclusivity for a Stronger Nation celebration welcome by Nick Velasquez and Casey Arias. We have greetings from Mayor Al Morgan, presentation of the artwork to the Borough Council by students Nick Velasquez, which is an original piece by Nicholas. Poster contest, participants recognition and award presentations. We have a Zumba dance demo by the YMCA Berkeley Heights. We have a keynote address by Valerie Allo, author of the book Uncolonized Latinas. She's from Argentina. Bilingual music class for toddlers, a sound start from Claudia Orsi from Mexico. Traditional dresses, parade of countries. We have Peruvian folklore dance by the La Marinera. Latina dance by Jimena Gonzalez from Mexico, mariachi songs by David Gonzalez and Lorena Curi, and closing remarks by Sunil, Diversity Committee Chair Member. We also have a social media campaign from September 15 to October 15. Casey Arias will run interviews and intertwine digital content weekly. We have several folks here, Robert Munoz, Rafael Diaz Oquendo, we have Carolina from Patria Station Cafe. She's the Argentina cafe owner. Edgar Ruiz, Detective David Rodriguez, Bruna Maltoni, Marcy from Marcy's Kitchen in Gillette, Brazil EMS, Nina to confirm. And last but not least, we have a partnership with the City of Summit on Friday, September 16th, to promote the Hispanic culture through live events, live entertainment, education, interactive activities for both children and adults, recognition of our students' talent and abilities, and exposure to traditional food. Engage surrounding towns, Berkeley Heights and Springfield, to participate in a parade of countries, traditional dresses. Engage the New Providence High School and Summer Spanish and Art Society students to lead arts and craft. And then we have a little a list of the activities and who's leading it. So for now, we have the poster contest and artifact displays led by the New Providence team, arts and craft led by in conjunction with the New Providence and Summit High School, and Summit will be leading the Unidos Inclusivity for a Stronger Nations Community Artistic Tapestry and Project. And then we have several others that we don't have a lead for yet, which is the country delegation, Where Am I From? Tentative Sing-Along, Classic Spanish Children's Songs, the Zumba for All, Dancing, Fitness, and Fun, and the keynote speakers to be determined. So I just want to thank you for your support and ask if you have any questions, but my questions will be directed, the questions should be directed to you.
Well, they can come up. I don't have any questions.
I mean, I have one, I do, I just have one question.
Absolutely.
Is that it?
Yes, thank you so much.
No, it's amazing. Truly amazing that, you know, the committees, you only get out of the committee what you put into it, right? And obviously the diversity committee's been putting in a tremendous effort year on year. It just keeps getting better. So thank you very much for all your efforts. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of work there. Awesome.
There's been a tremendous amount of work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunil, Laura, you did good.
Do you think we have time there with a picture of the Hispanic Heritage Group? Thank you so much for us.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Come up, a quick picture.
Just laid out a whole month's worth of activities. It's great.
I'll take one with my dad.
You first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nice touch. Future pioneer.
I'll take one with mine.
Okay.
He's got to look the other way. Good job, Donna.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your support. Appreciate it so much.
Okay, we'll go to correspondence. Okay, Borough of Fanwood about their opposition to the ABC's special conditions to limited brewery license. You know, the state is putting up some obstacles for breweries. And businesses are having a tough enough time over the last few years, and with different variants coming out, people aren't going out like they used to. So my thing is, you support the businesses as much as you can, you know, all businesses. So I recommend that we support the opposition of this litigation or this bill. I know I talked to our Assemblywoman, and she was on board with it. Matt, why don't you come up and give a quick synopsis of what this bill is going to do, so the public and council get a good idea what this bill is all about.
Move this. I'm tall. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mayor and Council, for having me. I can highlight a few of the key provisions. There's a lot. I won't go into all of them, and then kind of talk about a little bit what it means for the industry and whatnot. But there's a few important ones that are really limiting to breweries being successful. The most important one for us, or Untied here in New Providence, is the entertainment. by doing the ruling, the state has said you can do entertainment, but it's a little arbitrary in the number of types of entertainment you can do, which is, it really stops a brewery from being a brewery. Like, that's what people go to breweries for, is the atmosphere. It's the culture. It's having guests engage with your business and your brands. It's more about producing a product. It's about engaging with customers, and it really restricts your ability to do that. Beyond that, it restricts our ability to coordinate with other businesses in town, to support them, to promote them, to work with them, to promote us as well, which is important. There's provisions there on food trucks, which there's long been misconceptions that food trucks are harmful to other restaurants and other businesses, where there's been a lot of research, and I can share that research with you that's been proven to be the opposite. It's actually beneficial for communities and towns and restaurants. And then it's just littered with rules that are just very, from a business standpoint, they're just more of they're not helpful, I'll put it that way, but it's not going to make or break what we do. Something as simple as we can't sell coffee as a non-alcoholic beverage. We can sell water, we can sell alcoholic water or hard seltzers. We can sell non-alcoholic sodas, we can sell hard sodas. We can put coffee in beer, we can sell hard coffee, but I can sell a 0.5% ABV coffee, but I can't sell a 0.4% ABV because that's technically non-alcoholic. That 0.1 makes a big difference apparently. We're prohibited from providing any sorts of discounts, like first responders or senior citizens that typically get discounts at places, prohibited. It just makes, a lot of it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So it leads to the question of why is this coming about? A lot of it has to do with misconceptions and beliefs which aren't true. Breweries, we're manufacturers, and we have a retail part of our business, but we have no desire to be a bar or to be a restaurant. It's about engaging with our customers in a way which breweries typically do. People come visit us at different times for different reasons, for different atmospheres and different reasons. As it's, our busiest times are Saturday afternoons, which is not typical for bars and restaurants. A lot of people talk about, or in the news you might see about the dollar impacts of what people spend for their liquor licenses. Well, liquor licenses give you more than just selling the beer you make. I can't sell any beer that other New Jersey breweries make. I can't sell liquor, can't sell wine. That's what you get for paying for your liquor license. Meanwhile, we had to spend far more than what people typically spend on their liquor licenses just to be able to make the beer that we sell. It goes on. And food, like, we don't want to be a restaurant, but having food trucks and options for guests, it just adds to the environment. People aren't going to come to a brewery to have lunch or dinner and replace what they're going to a restaurant for. I'm not going to, for my anniversary, I take my wife to a restaurant for. I'm not going to say, hey, let's check out the food truck at the brewery and go there instead. It's just not what guests do, right? No, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, and it really inhibits our ability to do what we're doing. And as you mentioned, we've been struggling for the past couple of years with COVID. Every year has been a little bit different, and to be truthful, like, this has been our worst year out of the three. Omicron was particularly difficult because nobody went out, everybody got sick, and our business was down over the winter 60% from what it normally is. And that's a big hole to start off the year to try to check water and move forward. But in summary, like, it's not about balancing competition. Bars and restaurants aren't our competition. We work with them, we sell to them, partner with them. We sell to them and talk to most of them. Most of them don't even know about the rules, nor do they really care. It's about a few people that spend a lot of money that are trying to protect their financial interests. And it's typically in places where there's been overdevelopment, malls, where there's a limited supply of licenses and a inflated demand because of other issues. But I'll turn it over for any questions that you all might have. I'm happy to address them and clear anything up.
So I think we had a correspondence previously from Westfield, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. And I did question that because I know, when you came in front of the planning board, there were restrictions specific restrictions that we discussed, which made us feel comfortable, right, allowing a brewery in town. And but you know, thank you for coming and providing more feedback, because now I do see, you know, they're trying to make it even more restrictive, sounds like, right, which is actually, you know, making it harder to actually run the business. So I do appreciate your time coming in and explaining that to us.
Any other questions? Is everybody in favor of opposing the litigation? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so if we could send out a resolution to our,
It's on your
It's on the agenda.
just send it out to our assembly people, senator, and I guess ABC.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, we have another one from Environmental Logic for Fab Block Mills remediation. It's a biennial certification. The DEP, suspected hazardous substance discharge for 17 High Street. That's the greenhouses. Okay, Township of Clark protesting the implementation of PL 2021, and that requires municipalities to conduct lead-based paint hazard inspections in rental dwellings. Mr. Zenhua, how do you say it? Cow? Driveway extension. You know, we get these every once in a while. I really don't have a problem with it as long as they, you know, understand that if we have to get in to fix a pipe or whatever, I guess there's a pipe underneath where he wants to widen his driveway. So as long as he understands that we have to get to that pipe, we dig up the driveway, he's responsible to replace it.
Did we, I believe we heard one of these already. Was it an ordinance that we had to pass in order for that, right, to come to agreement? A resolution?
Resolution, yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I remember we did one with a shed once.
Yeah, we do an agreement.
Yeah.
That requires them to sign.
Right.
So
And
they
as long
acknowledge
as,
in writing that if we're allowing this,
right,
they understand that if we need, they're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be dug up.
exactly. Okay, everybody good with that? Yeah, okay. Township of Chatham, just a land development ordinance. Okay, let's go to council business, administration, Diane.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2022-205 is a resolution appointing James Testa as the qualified purchasing agent of the Borough of New Providence, County of Union, and State of New Jersey. We also have Resolution 2022-206, which is a resolution increasing our bid threshold pursuant to NJSA 40A 11-3A to $44,000. Basically, this resolution allows our bid threshold that was previously $17,500 to be raised to $44,000. 3 quotes will still be needed for purchases over $2,500, and purchases in excess of $44,000 will need to go out to bid to the public.
Okay, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. We've got Resolution 2022-207, and this is a resolution authorizing agreement between the Borough of New Providence and the County of Union regarding road closures of county roads for community events. And this is requested by the Business and Professional Association. So we're looking at Springfield Avenue being closed on Sunday, October 30th from 7:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m., and that's for the street fair. And South Street to be closed on November 25th from 4 to 10, and that would be for the Christmas walk.
Okay, Pete, community activities.
Okay, first is an authorization to bid sports instruction services. This is requesting permission to solicit bids for recreation sports programs. Resolution 2022-208 is a salary resolution for adult and youth program instructions and basketball officials. Resolution 2022-209 is a resolution approving contracts with the County of Union for community development block grants for the period of September 1st, 2022 through August 31st, 2023. This is accepting the community development block grant funding for the Senior Citizen High Risk Health Care Program and Fair, as well as Senior Citizen Social Services Programs and roof repairs for the DeCorso Center. Just a little bit of background, each year we do apply for money to run programs for seniors and apply for a facility grant to help maintain that building. Finally, Resolution 2022-210 is a resolution appointing Tyree Dumas as part-time custodian for the Borough of New Providence Community Activities Department and the New Providence Memorial Library. Appointing Tyree Dumas as part-time custodian at the DeCorso Center and Library is for 20 hours per week at a rate of $20 per hour. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Diane, Diversity Committee.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-211 is a resolution approving the request of the New Providence Diversity Committee to host and support National Hispanic Heritage Month to be held September 15th through October 15th, 2022. And we just heard their presentation, and they've been doing a tremendous amount of work.
Okay, Matt, Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2022-212 is a resolution refunding or applying overpayment of taxes to certain property owners. This is just a resolution refunding duplicate tax payments for 3 residents totaling $13,440.99. Resolution 2022-213 is the Borough of New Providence versus New Providence Muse. This is a settlement of a tax appeal between New Providence Muse, which is 127 Gales Drive. This resolution settles the assessment at a fair value, assessable value of the property, which is consistent with the assessing practices generally applicable in the taxing district as required by law. So we will actually be raising the assessment and collecting additional taxes on that property. Resolution 2022-214 is a resolution providing for the insertion of any special item of revenue in the 2022 budget pursuant of NJS 44-87, Chapter 159, National Opioid Settlement. So we passed this resolution a few months earlier where we opted into the settlement. This resolution accepts the payment number 1 of 18 in the amount of $2,595.57. We will be receiving that amount one time per year for the next 18 years as part of the National Opioid Settlement. This money is earmarked to fund opioid remediation efforts in the borough. Resolution 215 is a resolution authorizing payment of the attached bills payable in the amount of $12,471,944.70. Some of the significant items include our Board of Ed payment for August of $8,418,609, our Union County third quarter open county purpose tax of $3,277,270, our Union County third quarter open space tax of $120,770, our library August payment of $85,585, as well as our payment to Colliers Engineering for $125,728 for various engineering services and projects, which would primarily be paid for through capital funds.
Okay, thank you. Legal, Diane.
Thank you. Ordinance 2022-11 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 253 of the Code of the Borough of New Providence entitled Vehicles Abandoned and Unlicensed. Basically, this is a proposed change to Chapter 253. The proposed change is to the ordinance will return the enforcement responsibility back to the police department instead of the construction official, which it is right now. Resolution 2022-216 is a resolution in opposition of New Jersey Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control's special conditions on limited brewery licenses. And basically, the previous letter that we were discussing and Matt had presented information to us, that's our resolution opposing the new special conditions on limited brewery licenses, craft licenses.
Okay, personnel, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2022-217 is a resolution accepting written employment resignation from Christopher P. Aversa as SLEO 2 for the Borough of New Providence Police Department. Chris has accepted a position with the U.S. Capitol Police, interesting, as a canine training specialist. Resolution 2022-218 is a resolution amending Resolution 2022-201, which was a resolution appointing James Testa as part-time Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer of the Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. The reason for this amendment is the last time salary was incorrectly listed. That's it.
Okay, Matt, engineering.
Thank you. Resolution 219 is a resolution accepting a proposal of Collier Engineering and Design for professional engineering and construction services regarding Commerce Drive Bridge project. This is the proposal for the construction administration related to the installation of the Commerce Street Bridge. We previously approved work for Colliers for the design and the ecological studies. This is permitting for the same project. Resolution 220 is a resolution accepting a proposal of Collier Engineering and Design for professional engineering and design services regarding Deerfield flume repairs. So this is approving Task 1 survey services and Task 2 ecological services for remediation work to the Deerfield flume due to Hurricane Ida, and this is part of our the borough's FEMA claim. Resolution 221 is a resolution appointing Joseph Moretta as part-time substitute electrical inspector for the Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. So we're appointing Joseph Moretta as a part-time substitute electrical inspector. I think we passed this a few months back to open this position up.
He couldn't stay fully retired, could he?
Took his resignation a few months back.
And this is and we have a lot of activity, right, with the construction going on, so it's in dire need of additional help there, right? Resolution 222 is a resolution refunding overpayment of fair share housing fee for 2 Diane Court construction permit. So this is an overpayment to the borough of a permit fee, of a fair share housing fee. The applicant actually is constructing another building on 302 South Street, so we will be refunding $876 to the applicant and applying $2,081 towards the new permit. Resolution 223 is a resolution accepting the proposal of Hire Gruhl and Associates for professional planning services regarding Recreation Master Plan project. This is authorizing Hire Gruhl to complete an update on our Recreation Master Plan. Hire Gruhl will work closely with our Recreation Department to complete the update. The last time our plan was updated was over 10 years ago. I was involved in that. Our Recreation Plan, as you know, outlines all of our resources, all of our activities, and all of our recreation plans, and so this is much needed. I'm looking forward to seeing that update. Resolution 224 is a resolution adopting an affirmative marketing plan for the Borough of New Providence, and this here is for our affordable share housing under COA. We're required to have a marketing plan in relation to our fair share units in town.
Well, since we're on engineering, I'll call Kevin up and give us an update on the bridge.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. The bridge, we got an update actually today from the contractor. Initially, they had the schedule to have the bridge sometime in mid-September. We were hoping to try to pull that in, kind of went the other direction. They're telling us now the delivery of the actual structure itself is November 1st. They do plan to still be on site next week to start the borings for the pylon foundations. So they'll start that work. Hopefully, we can still pull in that November 1st date, but right now that's what we're being told.
I have to tell you, I find this totally unacceptable. Totally. This bridge has been out for a year. The other 2 bridges came early. I don't get it. And, you know, I got to tell you, I do have some basic knowledge of building. I cannot understand why the concrete wasn't poured months ago.
The contractor's waiting.
It just seems like everybody's taking their time, and I have been impressing on you and other engineers that this has to get done before the kids go to school. This is so damn unacceptable, and I don't really get upset over a whole lot of things. But I can't tell you how disappointed I am with this whole thing. This has been a big cluster from the very start. And I know council feels the same way, and I know the administration does. This was priority one for us for over a year. And now you're telling us that it won't be there till November. That is unacceptable.
We are pushing the contractor as hard as we can. We have
Well,
also
push them
some revenue.
harder.
We will, we'll continue.
I mean, these people want our money. Come on. This is about public safety, about the safety of our children. That bridge, I didn't even, the Dunlap Bridge, you could have left that one go till November. This bridge is little kids. Even the Mean Street Bridge, even though it was a hassle, those are high school and middle school kids. They understand safety. Little kids running around, they're not as aware of their surroundings. I gotta tell you, Kevin, I gotta tell you, I couldn't be more disappointed and outraged. And I'm not gonna say anymore, but I think you know how I feel. Because you know, every time I see you, I ask you about it.
Yes.
Where are we?
What was the, I mean, this is a 2-month change, right? That's a big deal, right? What was the reasoning behind it?
They're just quoting lack of material and lack of labor. So that's their answer they're giving us right now.
It's almost like the
It's
rubber
their,
stamp answer, right?
it's the same line you get every time now. So short of us physically going into their factory and seeing how they actually operate is, kind of got to take them at their word. But we're calling them regularly. We're working with contractor installing it. They're reaching out to the manufacturer as well several times a week to try to push them along, and that's the answer they got.
I'm with the mayor here. I mean, I honestly think, it almost warrants a phone call every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally. And a report back, to Bernadette every day. Like, I spoke to them today and this is what I got, I mean, we just gotta keep pushing.
Kevin, what was the difference between the Commerce Street Bridge and the V Lane or Dunlap Street Bridge?
Those bridges are a little bit smaller, and they didn't require the pylon foundations. Those just had concrete abutments. So it's a little bit of a different construction process for it. But this bridge is just longer, more steel for it, and just the timing wise of when they get the order and when they start producing it.
I guess I just don't understand why the bridge just sat there, the old bridge just sat there and sat there and sat there. You could have taken that out. You could have had all the concrete work, everything done months ago. Concrete's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we've been pushing the contractor to get out there. He has a lot of other things, other obligations he's scheduled for, so he didn't want to put that ahead while he's still waiting for the structure. He wanted to time it kind of closer together. That way he doesn't mobilize twice. So that's the reason he's giving us, that he didn't
Well, they
mobilize
got to
sooner.
pour it, it's got to dry, so they can't do it the same day.
No, that's why he's going to do it he's planning to do it next week. Hopefully we can pull in the bridge structure earlier, that way, because it has to sit for 7 days before he can put the structure on top. That's a curing time that they need.
Okay? I just want to reiterate my disappointment.
I understand that.
And, that's the one bridge that we needed done. I thought we made that clear. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. We go to public safety. Authorization to bid flashing pedestrian crossing signals. I think you all know that Andrew and Sean and Kevin, they've been working on this. There are a bunch of existing flashers that need upgrading, and that they will be at Springfield and Livingston, Springfield and Ridgeview, the new crossing signals at Union and Klein, and South and High Street. We have raffle license 1170 for the marching band, and the license was properly prepared and reviewed. Resolution 225 is for Denville Painting, and what that is to do borough-wide striping of stop bars and et cetera, and that's done through the Morris County Co-op. Resolution 226 is a resolution to change the scope of work for the pedestrian crossing beacons, for the material needed for the rapid flashers at the intersection of Central Balcom and Spring. As you know, they had to be moved, so that's the change order. Okay, Public Works, Lisa. You've done a lot tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm filling in. Resolution 2022-227 is a resolution approving requisition number R2201509 for Rapid Pump and Meter Service Company in the amount not to exceed $40,875. Bergen County Co-op contract number 21-13 for the wastewater treatment pump installation. And so what this is it's a purchase order to have Rapid Pump install 2 new force mains at the wastewater treatment plant. I could go on and give you specifics, but it's kind of technical. I quite don't even, get it. But basically what it is, we're working with Tony over at the wastewater treatment plant to keep the plant in tip-top shape, to keep it running at peak capacity and keep it running efficiently and smoothly. So whenever we see these resolutions for requisitions for the wastewater treatment plant, that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, I think the last time we had an upgrade, a total upgrade, Ralph, I believe it was 1980, right? And a lot of these things that Lisa's talking about is that these pumps have been repaired and repaired and repaired. They're pretty much at the end of their life, and they have to be replaced. And I know the channel monster has to get done. There's a lot of upgrades, the computers, a lot of different things, and it just has to be done. And the money has been in the budget, so we're finally getting around to it. So you have to keep up with DEP regulations, and it's costly, very costly. Probably one of the most costly things that the borough has to endeavor in. So, okay, sorry, Lisa.
No, that's okay. Then we have Resolution 2022-228, and that's a resolution approving partial payment number 3 for Top Line Construction Corp. in the amount of $192,257 for New Jersey DOT fiscal year 2021 various streets, specifically Woodbine Circle project. And this is for the Woodbine Circle draining and paving project.
Wendy, can you remove that from consent, because that's my street?
Resolution 2022-229 is a resolution appointing Christopher Nemeth as roadman of Public Works Department of the Borough of New Providence, and he will be joining as a full-time roadman effective August 17th. Second to lastly, we have Resolution 2022-230. That's a resolution approving requisition R2201495 for Denbar Construction in the amount not to exceed $12,700 for the 2022 sidewalk program. And this is for work that's going to be on the sidewalks on Jones Drive and Hawthorne prior to the start of school. We had originally actually approved another contractor, Cifarelli, to do the work, but they were unable to get to us before school opening, so we went with Denbar. Now, lastly, 2022-231 is a resolution approving the contract between the Borough of New Providence and S. Rotundi and Sons. This is for grass and garden waste disposal for the year 2022. The purpose of this is to dispose of grass and garden waste with Rotundi and Sons. They're in Chatham. This will be $99,000, split into 5 payments of $19,980. Our garbage hauler is Suburban. They utilize Rotundi Yard for disposal of borough-wide brush pickup from April through December.
Okay, thank you. Discussion items? None? Okay, we'll go to committee reports. I just want to reiterate that Pioneer Drive and Balcom Road are one-way. There's going to be restrictions on left-hand turns down on Westview and High Street. Just please be aware of the traffic striping. Ralph, they did a great job with that. I know you put up all the signs, everything's in place, right? So there's still a lot of construction going on around town. Just be aware of what's going on. I want to thank the Business Association and the PBA for National Night Out. It was fantastic. I don't know how many people were there, but it was great. And, you know, between hot dogs, Italian ice, cotton candy, popcorn, music, fireworks, we couldn't ask for a better evening. Just a couple things. PBA is having a car show on the 2nd of October, and the trunk or treat more will be coming out, and that'll be, I believe, what is, you remember 23rd?
Trunk or treat, I believe, is the 23rd.
23rd of October, and that'll be 3 to 5 or whatever. So trunk or treat and pumpkin carving, and that should be a fun time, and that'll be down the pool. And I think that's all that I have. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I see Ralph's here. I just want to, talking about a lot of the construction, I have noticed a lot of orange cones being left around. I've actually moved a bunch myself off the block. It seems like when PSE&G moves on, if they're not on that block anymore and there's cones there, they don't go back and get them. So I think we might want to just let them know that they should be cleaning them up, you know, as they're moving on from street to street. Top Line, I think, left a couple on Newcomb as well. So again, I think we just let them know, because those orange cones, they just sit there for, actually, I think there's one on Newcomb's been there for about 4 months.
Save on your cone budget.
Yeah, at first I thought maybe something was wrong, and then when I went over and checked it out, there was really nothing there. The cone's just been sitting there, you know, so anyway. But I saw Ralph bring it up. Finance, so we got a beautiful memo from our new CFO, Mr. Testa here. We did receive our bond anticipation note, $9 million on July 28th, so as you can tell through some of our ordinances, we've been putting that money to good use in town. I did have a meeting with the engineer and recreation, as well as our cricket club, to talk about the pitch that we've been discussing recently. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. And thank God we did have that meeting. We kind of had some good collaboration there. It looks like we're going to be getting ready to do the, what's the next step? You got to measure the area, right?
Measure the area, survey it.
Survey, yeah, I couldn't think of the word survey. We're going to survey the actual area that we landed on, the spot that we landed on, so that's going to be great. And hopefully that'll be completed by the end of the year. And then last thing, our planning board meeting, we denied an application. We had an application that came in to subdivide a property to put a duplex, two-family home. The home was gorgeous. I think the property would look really nice, but the subdivision of that property wasn't really in our master plan, and we don't do that. So unfortunately, it was denied. So I hope that the applicant continues to move forward without the subdivision and builds that two-family home, because it will look really, really nice there. That's it.
Keith?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Sustainability team, last met on July 27th. A lot of our discussion was regarding Free Cycle. I see Donna Zane in the audience, who's leading that effort and working very hard to do so. That, for everyone's calendar, that'll be on September 17th from 9 to 2 with a rain day the following day. So that's an event that's been very popular in past years. There is a change. We used to have it over here at the American Legion, but we're moving it over to the pool parking lot this year. So just be cognizant of that. Shared services, we had a meeting on Wednesday, August 3rd. At that meeting was the mayor, Councilwoman Belisca was at that meeting, our borough administrator, as well as representatives from the county, namely the deputy county manager and the shared services coordinator. That was just a meeting we had just to touch base with the folks from the county. Really, the biggest takeaway was they commended the town on all of the shared services and good things we do in that area. So, Mayor, I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to add from that meeting, but I think that was pretty much the key, and we talked a little bit about the various services that we have here.
I think Amy Wagner said it the best. We were the poster child of shared services. So
Yeah.
we've been doing shared services long before it was a in thing to do. When you're a small community, you share services, and we look at every possibility. What I do think is that we do share a lot with the Board of Education, and we always like to do that because it's technically the same tax dollars. So any equipment, if we can help them pave, if they can help us do this or that, we help each other, and I think that's a lot different than a lot of towns. But we're all in the same building, and we all think we're one family, and we all get along, and I think that's a benefit to the community as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, Capital Review Team met on Wednesday the 10th. Mayor, our Borough Administrator, our new CFO, James Testa, was there, so it was an opportunity to spend some time with him, hear his thoughts. Really, the subject of that meeting was something we had talked about during the planning process that we had said would be a follow-up, and that we're going to, our Bernadette, our Borough Administrator, is going to be working on, that we're going to get done prior to the start of the next cycle. That being having and this is real important, having a robust rotation plan for our major capital expenditures in this town. So, looking 5 years out and making sure that we're properly staging those, whether it's repairs or upgrades or new purchases, in a manner that makes sense and is in conjunction with our overall financial plan and debt management. So it's going to help, again, further detail our planning process going forward. So I look forward to getting that work, hopefully sometime this fall. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. So, mental health is not, okay, we need to add that as a committee on the list here. We met the Mental Health Advocacy and Education Committee, so it was just the chairs and the council liaisons for now. Next meeting, we will have some of our new members that have requested to be on the committee. But this one was really just to kind of wrap our arms still around this new committee to, kind of spearhead where we want to lead this area. We spoke about, putting a presence on the borough webpage with our information, our mission, our objectives, our events, the 988 hotline number. We had one of the committee chairs met with the Mental Health Association of New Jersey. She also met with the New Providence School District. Both of those meetings were to coordinate efforts and to take advantage of some resources that they already have in place, and to see how we can work together so that we're not duplicating efforts, but so that we can kind of just get more of that message and that education out there. Again, we spoke about, always looking for grants, and so that we can provide more programming and resources, so that is an ongoing thing, looking for grants and grant writers. And lastly, we did put on the, hopefully everybody saw it, but on the digital bulletin board out front, out in the center of town. We did put a notice about the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. In July, the FCC formally designated 988 as a nationwide three-digit number for mental health crisis and suicide prevention services. So prior to that, it was this entirely long number, 1-800, whatever, and so they realized that that was just inaccessible. So 988 is what we want to stress now, and get that word out there, that if there's anybody that is in crisis or needs help, or if you know anyone that's in crisis or needs help, it's 988. So that meeting was, I forgot to tell you, was on July 19th, and again, just the chairs and the council liaisons. On July 27th, the communication committee met, Wendy, Bernadette, Cindy Reese, Nadine, and I. This was just basically a follow-up to, projects that we've been working on. One of those is the website redesign. As you know, we've had some hiccups and some hurdles with the company that we were using. They were just not able, at the end of the day, they were just not able to accommodate our needs as far as what we were looking for in the layout and the technical aspects of the website design. So unfortunately, that did not work out, so we are moving forward. Just as an FYI, there was no financial impact of working with them. So we are in the process of looking at other companies. Cindy has been meeting with a few of them. One in particular that looks promising also works with many of the surrounding communities. So if you look at websites from, say, Berkeley Heights or Summit, you'll get a feel for what our capabilities will be and what it might look like. We spoke about bylaws for committees. Nadine and I laugh, we're not going to call it this, but we call it, Committees for Dummies handbook. But basically something that we want to put out to the committees that will help with the process and the procedures needed to run their committees. So, an A to Z, this is what you need to do type of a handbook. So we want to be able to present this to the committee heads and the committee members prior to starting our new turnover, maybe in January. We spoke about committee pages on the borough websites, specifically the mental health committee. And then we always get back to social media, right? So we're always looking at what can we do to improve communication with our residents. The borough does have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter. This is where we post news, we post current events. Just so everybody knows, we do not comment on the community forum pages. If anybody has a question that they want answered, they should, go, if they don't find the answer on the borough website, they can put in an action line request and it will get answered. You're taking your chances throwing a question out on the community forum. You may or may not get the right answer there. So you should just go to the source and ask us directly. And that's it for communications.
Okay, Diane?
There's not that much. The Historical Society actually has a wonderful display at the library about our semi-pro baseball team. And the biggest thing with the Board of Ed is that school starts before Labor Day this year on the 1st of September. And actually the mayor's kickoff, the kickoff classic for the Mayor's Cup, our football game between GL and New Providence High School will be, I believe it's Friday the 26th of August, which is also before the start of school, so.
Well, I guess I don't have to wear a coat.
No. But there will be no Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah, no Thanksgiving, unfortunately. At any rate, you won't mention it, but I will. Zach Pereira, his Eagle Scout project was renovating the bocce court, and Diane looked great shoveling mulch and cutting down weeds and all sorts of things.
On the hottest weekend of the
Yeah, right.
year.
But I'll tell you, the bocce court looks outstanding, and I just want to make note of that. And Maybe we should do a ribbon cutting to open up the new bocce court.
I think that'd be a great idea.
He has a couple more things to do, but it was amazing how the entire community came together. And actually, one of Alex's friends, who's also part of the fire department, went to work and he created a scoreboard. So I can't wait to.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks great. That would be Chris O. He did that.
Terrific. Okay. At this point, we go to Bernadette.
The only thing I would like to remind people is the borough offices will be closed on September 5th for Labor Day, and that week we'll be going back to regular hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. So summer hours are coming to an end, sad to say. And just a reminder that Pioneer Drive is a one-way at this point, and anyone who would normally be going that route for school should go in advance before school starts to kind of get a lay of the land before that first day.
I agree. Well, summer hours never pertain to you because every time I'll drive by Friday afternoon, you're still here, so, okay. Anything else? No? Okay. At this point, we'll go to public comments. Anybody wishing to address council? Yeah, Donna.
Jonathan, 54 Brookside. So you ran out of things by the time I got here, so I had to do some quick research. If I understood correctly, a gentleman is putting about 500, is transforming about 500 feet of his backyard into blacktop or something. Going from rain can go into the grass to rain will run down the hill to his neighbors. Simply because of a ordinance, a New Providence specific ordinance about screening?
No, it's because he wants to put it over a pipe.
No, but he is expanding into it. I had to read, I read the letter that is part of the agenda, and it says he's expanding into his backyard because of screening requirements, which is that.
Right, he has to provide the screening requirements.
And so screening is there for commercial vehicles and recreational vehicles.
Recreational vehicles.
Okay, and this was a law
Boats,
passed
things like that.
in 2010, and I guess I'm sort of inquiring why, maybe in 2010, people weren't as worried about flooding as the past couple, I mean, they must have, because Floyd was before that. But I know I sat in on a couple planning board meetings during COVID when you had them online, thank you, and everyone was very happy that the BARD construction, that they were able to come in under what they were allotted to do for the purpose of rainfall on land being absorbed into the soil and not being on, they could have done much more coverage of the area.
Well, not really, because the area that isn't touched is wetlands, so they couldn't go in there one way or the other.
Okay, well, at the meeting, they said that they had.
They did less.
Yes.
Yeah, not much, but they did a little.
Okay, I'm not sure that they were doing it for the environmental reasons that I care about, but I also know that anyone who does construction has to go through the DEP and things like that. And what I'm asking is, the purpose of this screening law, is it having an unintended consequence of losing us impervious surface, which, since New Providence does flood now, more than it used to, is this something the council may want to reconsider? Given, I think this is an unintended consequence of a law that was passed 12 years ago. And if I understand which I could be wrong, but my very quick reasoning is this New Providence specific. It's not like New Jersey law.
Right, the screening was done because people were complaining that somebody had an RV or a boat and they didn't want an eyesore. So the screening was done to plant trees and whatever to hide the vehicle.
Right, but this is asking, and again, and later in his letter, he says there's a lot of RV people, and yeah, I think you were actually saying a couple of people a year might ask for or a couple of people have asked for this before, but you might have been saying getting around the.
Donna, can I answer you?
Yes.
Because I know where you're going.
Okay, good.
The purpose of his letter was to ask permission from Borough Council.
Yes.
We have an easement on his property.
Correct.
So he cannot go over the easement without us allowing it.
Correct.
So he needs to ask council for permission to put the easement there. He still then has to file a permit, and it still has to be reviewed. So this is the first step in him getting to where he needs to be.
Okay.
But it will still go through the building department for coverage and stuff like that. So they are not giving permission for him to do his driveway. They're giving him permission to ask for an easement.
Right, and I'm not trying to stop him doing that, but if the reason he or other RV owners are asking for this easement is because...
He's only has to ask for the easement because it's our property. We have the easement. He wants to pave over our easement.
He wants additional 480, feet of transferring from backyard to runoff. I'm not quite sure the word you want me to use, impervious surface, because of a law. Like, maybe he wants it for another reason, but when I read the letter, it sounded like he was doing this because of the screening requirements. And all I'm saying is...
No, they're two separate issues.
Yeah, I know, but when you read his letter, he says because of the screening thing.
Because he can't park it in his front yard.
Right, and what I'm saying is, if people don't like the eyesore of recreational vehicles, I really don't like the eyesore of having to go to my neighbor's house during Ida and say, no, I don't see any water in your basement, because he was down at the shore at that point in time.
So just so we're clear, if someone wants to pave in their yard.
Yes.
And they are not exceeding the requirements of impervious coverage, they can do it.
Right.
Without anybody's, right?
Right.
They
Yes.
obviously apply
That's
for a
DEP,
permit
yes.
and they can go do it.
Yes.
Now, he is asking for permission to be able to do it over an easement.
Correct.
That has some substructure under it that belongs to the borough.
Correct.
Okay, so we're allowing him to do that. Now, I don't know the details of what his whole house looks like, his impervious coverage looks like. That's something that he'll have to apply for with the borough, and our construction official will have to then approve or deny that application.
Correct.
He can approve it if it's within the ordinance, right?
Percentage.
If there's no impervious coverage. So the only thing we're doing tonight is giving him permission to do that,
Right.
To apply for the permit.
to apply for the permit.
And I'm not arguing,
And we have done, we have done this in the past with other easements, which I
Correct.
mentioned this earlier as well, to make sure that we're covered as far as if there are any issues underneath that the homeowner would be required to cover the costs of having to remove it.
and where I'm going is, so it sounded like from the letter to me that he said he's doing this because of the screening requirement. And at the end of the letter, he said, I hope our township can provide support for RV owners and help solve RV parking problems. That's a problem for all
Well,
years.
that's, Donna,
Yes.
what he writes in the letter and what we're agreeing to are two different things.
Right, and what I'm saying is this is all based on an ordinance that the council passed back in 2010, if my quick research happened. And I'm wondering if this ordinance is having the unintended consequence of having RV owners or other personal equipment, snowboarders, I don't know what else needs to be stored. I don't actually own anything.
No, we're not changing any of our ordinances
I
in relation to
understand.
how much impervious coverage and
I am
what kind of
asking...
structures people could put on their properties, right? We're not doing any of
Right.
that. That's through the zoning and planning.
Right, but if this ordinance was passed in 2010, and it's having this consequence, what would be the steps if I, as someone who does watershed presentations to some of your kids, not all of them, would want to pursue to perhaps counter this for, I don't know, recreational vehicles or something? What would be my steps to say, I don't want us to lose any more for
we already
Well,
have
if he
that.
doesn't conform with the ordinance, he goes to the Board of Adjustment. And that's where you can air out your grievance.
No, we're not changing anything that's allowing people to park RVs in their backyard. We're not doing that.
So you're saying this 2010 ordinance is not an option to have it changed ever?
Well, no, you can't say the ordinance can't be changed
No,
ever.
it's-
An ordinance
we're
can
not
always be
changing it.
amended.
No, I'm not asking you to change it now.
We're not
I'm asking what would, if I now object to this ordinance, or at least I don't have enough information on it, but I don't like
You can
someone...
reach out to us tomorrow, Tom.
Okay.
If you want to call me tomorrow, we can talk about it.
I can probably do that. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wish to address council?
That's a good concern, for sure.
Seeing no one, I declare the public comments closed. Let's go to formal action. Items 1 through 31 minus 28.
So moved.
Second that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Item 28, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Okay. At this point, Wendy's favorite part of the meeting. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No? So be it. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Good night.
And I don't think we have another meeting before Labor Day, do we? So everybody have a safe Labor Day.